Whenever you get out of the military, you never take the uniform off. You know, I'm sitting here in front of you and you don't see it, but I see it. I see the uniform that I'm wearing. And when I talk to other veterans, I see their uniform and they can feel it, you know, we can feel this connection.
That identity you had when you were in the military, you knew who you were and what you stood for and what your job was. And then when you come to a fairly laid back, beautiful campus like this, it's hard to find that anchor that you had to find your identity. And that's why, again, I think it's so important that when you meet anybody, but in particular if it comes up that they serve, that you just be authentic with them. Because I think that's the best way to give them a sense of feeling of home and feeling comfortable where they are.
We are here because of what they have done and what we have done. We can provide them with the tools necessary, but we need to provide them with the patience that they need, the guidance that they need, and the room that they need. We need to be there for them. Promise them that you will be that positive difference in their life, and they will allow you to be that difference in their life, and they will play that forward every single time. They've already sacrificed enough. It's time for us to sacrifice for them.
When I think of Veterans Day and when I think of the celebration, I think of that ability to sit through the night and feel the cold in one's bones. That to me is the gift that our men and women who are in service and our men and women who we've lost as they fought to preserve our way of being and to preserve freedoms that we now experience and we enjoy. As we acknowledge the contributions of our veterans to our democracy, to world order and world peace, that we also learn, and our veterans model for us how to serve and how to serve with dignity and how to serve in the most challenging situations.
What happened for me, the reason why I ended up with the Military Funeral Honors Unit was because I had some hard times in my family, and so they decided instead of sending me on deployment that it would be better for me to spend my last year at home. With the Military Funeral Honors, we are the first contact after they've been informed that someone has died. I was the one who presented the flag most of the time, and it was overwhelming but rewarding all at the same time because I'm the one who is the last connection they have with their loved one. I'm handing them the flag that's going to sit on their mantle or sit somewhere in their house, and when they look at it, they're going to remember their loved one. It's very rewarding, but it's also very hard. My husband's grandfather was a World War II veteran. He was a SEAL before they were SEALs, actually. We have his flag sitting up on our mantle, and so when I look at that, I think about all the different flags that I presented over the years.
As with anything, veterans have gone out, they've served their country. I had a conversation this morning with a friend of mine, and we talked about Vietnam vets and how they were treated when they came back, and how the newer veterans that come to college today have been treated so much better than Vietnam vets, Korean War veterans.
The difficulty of going from a very regimented life where there's a lot of boredom and then a lot of danger, and then having to come back where you have to make your own schedule, you have to be responsible for everything that you do, whereas in the military, a lot of things are directed for you, of course. So, I mean, that's a very unique challenge.
When I got out, I was terrified because I didn't know anybody. The only people I knew in this area in Simi, Moorpark, was my husband and his family. When I decided to go to college, I was so scared. After my first term here, I came to the Veterans Resource Center. I met a man named Simon Shiramonta. He worked here, and he helped me get more involved in the community at Moorpark, and he actually helped me get the job here at the Veterans Resource Center. I decided that I wanted to be that person. I wanted to be what Simon was to me. So when veterans come in here to the Veterans Resource Center, I introduce them to everybody around. I introduce them to the other veterans that like to hang out in here. I help them set up their GI Bill. I help them set up their classes. Even during this COVID time, I actually, I sit on the phone with them. I'll call them and I'll talk to them and I'll explain to them through the phone while they're on the computer how to set up their classes and where to go on the website. I give tours to the campus just so they can feel like it's not so big. Because the first day I came here, everything looked so huge to me and I was so scared. So I want to be that person for them. I want them to feel like no matter what, they have someone here at Moorpark that they can come to. I want them to feel like they have a home, like I found mine.
So I came back to Moorpark College and it helped me, give me the time and space to figure out what I wanted to do with my life and figure out my future.
This campus is a wonderful place. It's a wonderful environment. It's not in the middle of a city. It's not surrounded by this and that. It's kind of a tranquil place where sometimes tranquility is what you need to increase your education or to increase your stability or better yet, to increase your wanting to be a whole. We need to reach every single veteran in our area. And it's not by telephone, it's not by text, it's not by social media, it's face to face. So when they come here and they see my face, they see Ryan's face, they see Johnny Conley's face, they see other veterans from here, they know that they are at home and they are with a group of people that truly cares about them and wants to provide them with everything that they need.
Community colleges in California are a great place for both first chances and that second chance, and perhaps sometimes a third or fourth chance. And so I had the wonderful opportunity to come back here as a teacher of mathematics, and that was a great thing because, again, I do have an emotional attachment here, both for Moorpark giving me a second chance as well as meeting my wife here.
We try our very best to make sure that they feel comfortable in the learning environment of the college campus. But we also need to be aware and honor their experience, right? And so for me, Veterans Day is an opportunity to say what we do on a daily basis on our campus with our vets, that we now bring it into full focus, into full light. And we acknowledge the fact that our vets have been our protectors and the protectors of a dream and the protectors of a way of being in the world. So whether they're World War II vets or whether they're Vietnam era vets or they're Iraqi freedom vets or they're Afghanistan vets, that both the men and women in our military have helped us get to, in most instances, the very best of who we could be, either through their own sacrifices of their lives or through their own actions. And in those actions, they release us.
I have to say it's probably the biggest thing I've done that's helped me to prepare myself for a career in law enforcement. And I haven't forgotten it. I learned everything there was about being a leader, being responsible, being accountable, and a lot of the things I learned about leadership, responsibility, values, ethics, and morals, not only from what my mother taught me and my father, but from what the United States Army instilled in me as well. And I still use it today.
I've always been a people person, so when I started working at the Veterans Resource Center, it really helped me find my place as a civilian, back in the civilian world again. I found a way to transition back into that role. Everywhere I go on campus, people know me. I make sure of that. I want people to know who I am. If I go into admissions and records, everybody knows me. I make sure to talk to, the different people on the staff because I feel like this is my purpose, to help people. And so if I know those people, the people that work here, then I can better help the veterans whenever they come in. I've definitely been able to find a place to belong while I transition into my future goals.
For the ones who get that opportunity to come back in civilian life and then go through civilian life having experienced what they have, we owe them not only the honor and we owe them respect, but we owe our vets an awareness of the values which they fought for. And that we live those values out, those values of equity, those values of common purpose, those values of sacrifice, that we owe them to integrate that into our daily lives.
A situation where you have a very close group of people that you literally do everything with, more or less 24/7, And then when you leave that and you don't have that anymore, not being able to see your classmates face to face and talk to them in person before and after class and actually building those relationships with everything being online, I mean, I think that's a worrisome thing. And we do want to be mindful that while we're dealing with this one situation, we're not throwing everything else aside, and make sure that we are still getting to the people that need help, and that, for in this case, making sure that, say, veterans who are non-community college and they're kind of in between, that they know that they have this opportunity to come here. They know about the GI Bill and all that, and they could use that to get their education paid for because they earned it.
All vets need to know that they are welcomed here, and that this is a place, whether it's Moorpark College or any other college, where you can come and you can get help. You can be with people who know who you are and have experienced the same experience as who you are, and are willing to help you any way we can to ensure that you're successful in that transition from military into civilian life and on into your career. And in my respect, it also includes making sure you're successful with your family, because there is no more important thing in life than your family.
I think for me, the biggest message I want to get across isn't exactly about the people that we lose over there. It's about the people that we lose when they come back. I've had multiple friends who have served and who have ended their lives too early. And I want all of my veteran friends to know that they can come to me, you know? I know what it's like. I know what it's like to come home and not know what to do, not know where to go. And I'm here. Whether you want to talk, you want answers, you want guidance, or you just want to talk about how angry you are, I'm here.
You know, there's everyone here, and like, we're Moorpark strong because we are strong, because we're strong enough to care. And I think I know we're strong enough to make a difference.
At Moorpark College, we have veterans who are in our faculty. At Moorpark College, we have veterans who are our students. At Moorpark College, we have veterans who are in our classified professional ranks. We have administrators who are veterans. And the important thing about this day is for us to say thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you for your service. Thank you for risking, but also thank you for showing us what heroism can be. We are Moorpark Strong, and we're Moorpark Strong because you are part of our campus and our college community.